Hi, this is Amanda Sahrai. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for being here. So today I'm going to dive into these energies that are blasting the planet, these solar codes, these high dimensional, high vibrational frequencies that are streaming in, and how that's actually impacting us on a physical level. So I was getting into this a little bit in my 9/9 portal video, the last video I recorded, and I'm going to dive deeper into these energetics today. So there has been a ton of high vibrational, lots of information coming into our body from the sun, from Sirius, from these higher dimensions. So what is happening is this is essentially a full body upgrade. These high vibrational frequencies, these light codes, these solar codes, if you will, are coming into the planet and activating our cells, triggering them to release. And so essentially what is happening is we are purging, we are releasing all the density that's held within the cells so that we can hold more light. This is a DNA upgrade, it's a DNA activation, it's a DNA upgrade. It's an upgrade to our entire body system, and particularly our nervous system. So this is a full system body upgrade. It's happening on the energetic level. Our light bodies are being activated and upgraded, and it's happening on a physical level. So this is the first time ever in the history of the universe, as far as I am aware and I understand it, that we are being allowed to ascend with our physical bodies. That is a tall order. That is a difficult task for our dense 3D physical bodies to ascend in frequency. So this notion of ascension, a lot of people associate that with Jesus Christ, Yeshua, and he ascended, but he didn't necessarily ascend in his physical form. And essentially that is what we are doing. That is why things have been so chaotic. The earth herself is ascending, and we as a collective species are ascending. It is not easy. This is the hardest work that we'll ever do. Doing the shadow work on an individual level is the hardest work that we'll ever do. And we're doing this on another level that's never happened before. So this, what is happening is at a massive grand scale, like, whoa, this is huge. It really is huge. So number one, be gentle with yourself, nurture yourself, be kind and compassionate with yourself. And once you can hold that compassion for yourself, extend that compassion to others the best you can, because we're all going through it right now. We are all going through this massive upheaval on a collective level, and every one of us are grappling with something in our lives. There is some kind of instability. We're being destabilized because everything that we have gotten used to is being asked to fall away. And we're not great at change. As humans, we don't really love change. We don't love the unknown. We don't love uncertainty. So when we're being asked to change, a lot of us cling on to the old. Even if it's not really serving us, it's still what we know. So it's easier, it feels safer, even though we're often stuck in this box of the known, the uncomfortable known. It's still at least known. So we have less fear of the known than the unknown, even if what we know kind of sucks, to put it bluntly. So what is happening on a physical level for a lot of people is these physical symptoms are coming up, and there's a lot of unease, a lot of discomfort in the body, and a lot of people are going like, what the heck is wrong with me? Like, why am I feeling this way? Am I sick? Falling into fear because of that, maybe feeling depressed. A lot of this heaviness is coming up, and that heaviness, we can feel it as a sense of depression. But truly what is happening is ultimately for our highest good if we choose to see it that way and then do the work to turn in to feel the things that are coming up, because you have to feel it to heal it. It's truer than ever. So we have to allow these things to come up, feel them, integrate them, honor them, embrace them, alchemize them, and, you know, release what needs to be released, and then integrate the shadows into a wholeness of being. And, you know, it may sound oversimplified. I'm not pretending that this is necessarily a smooth or easy process for everyone. And yet, as I was indicating in the previous video, these energies are assisting us to do this work, you know, at a bigger scale, at a faster scale. So that's why everything is feeling extra chaotic and extra destabilized, both internally and externally in the collective, which is, it's very disconcerting. Of course, I am not going to pretend that it's not difficult, and that I don't find myself sometimes being like, oh gosh, what's going to happen with us all? You know, I have my moments, but and, you know, my own personal moments where I'm like, but I always have to remember, come back to center, come back to what you know to be true, and then I'm able to get myself back in that state of gratitude, love, joy, compassion. I mean, if we look at this from a bigger perspective, we are so lucky to be here. And if that feels a little triggering, I fully understand. I've gone through my own stuff, lots of my own stuff. I had cancer. This is one of the numerous things. So I really had to go through my own dark night of the soul. And I found that I just became more and more grateful for every moment that I had. And I'm not pretending this has been like a perfect, smooth journey of healing, but at the end of the day, I have cultivated a really deep sense of appreciation for this miracle of life, for this gift of life that we get to experience. This planet is it's polarity 101. So we experience all the extremes, and when we go through those moments of crisis, we see the opportunity on the other side, and what's available to us is this profound expansion, this opening up, this blossoming into beauty and love and abundance. So it can be really beautiful going through this process. It's releasing the old baggage, rewiring the nervous system. It's not easy. That is literally what we are doing right now, is grounding these quantum frequencies into our 3D reality. Yes, it's a tall order. It is not easy. And yet it's this energetic upgrade to our system, this upgrade to our nervous system. It's all assisting us in stepping into these heaven on earth frequencies, and stepping into this more expansive, beautiful, blissful way of being, this state of being. And we are anchoring in Christ consciousness, essentially very, very high dimensional frequencies. So Jesus Christ, as we understand the man, he was a way shower. He walked the path before us, helped anchor in these Christ codes into the planetary blueprint for humanity's collective ascension, you know, a couple thousand years later. And here we are. So the more of us who choose to step forward in this path of love, this path of compassion, the more that the collective is going to ascend and transcend this polarity and the darkness. And again, the darkness isn't inherently bad. And truly, the shadows are not either. We're meant to integrate them. But there's a lot of darkness in the shadows that we have to grapple with, that we have to heal without judgment. We really are being called to integrate all of that into a more brilliant wholeness of being. Ultimately, that's what the alchemical process brings us into. But facing this, it's the guilt, the shame, the fear, the anxiety, shame and helplessness and depression are some of the lowest frequencies. The anger that we feel, the resentment, we really are being called and asked to face all of it without judgment, without blame, self-judgment, without shame. Again, that shame pulls us back down. The fear and anxiety pull us back down. So again, that compassion, that self-nurturing, that being very extra gentle with yourself, the self-care, the self-love, all of that is extra important in these times. So we walk forward with confidence and with a gentleness and with a compassion of self, for self and other as well, as we grapple with these very transitionary, rather chaotic times. So again, these solar codes have just been blasting the planet lately, and they've been increasing daily. So, I keep thinking, oh, maybe we'll get a break today. And that's just not the case. But what I've also found is that the more releasing I do, the more easily I'm able to hold the frequencies. So I'm not getting rattled by it the same that I used to, several months ago. Or, I had my moments in July and August, and I had some stuff come up even the other week. And the more I integrate all of it, the more steady and stable I am feeling within myself, the more grounded and anchored I am feeling within myself, the more whole I am feeling, if you will. So it's again, not easy, but it is a really beautiful process, and it is quite rewarding at the end of the day. So I very much believe in this journey that we are on, bringing us to this really beautiful new golden era. I fully, firmly believe that this is what is available to us, and we do have to choose it. We do personally, individually have to choose it. And enough of us collectively, I believe, have chosen it, that this is an option for all of humanity, I would like to believe. And we're all being called to step into our true power, into our sovereignty, and create this beautiful abundance for all. So there is just so much light, so much energy coming in that it can feel difficult, but it's assisting us in being able to. It is allowing us to be able to create this new reality, to transcend all of the darkness of humanity, all of the paradigm of enslavement and power over. We are transcending that right now and stepping into this beautiful reality that is possible. I very much believe it's possible. For anybody who is not super familiar with, this idea of the light frequencies and whatnot, this is literally energy coming off the sun, coronal mass ejections, solar flares, solar storms. There's so many different forms of flares and things going on the sun, measurable by science. We can look all this up. You can look up the Schumann resonance and how that's been changing and spiking a lot recently. So the Schumann resonance is the Earth's energy, Earth's frequency. So all of these energetics have been measured. This isn't just some woo-woo notion. We know that the planet is going through also a higher frequency part of the galaxy. So the whole solar system is shifting its position within the universe. The universe is constantly expanding. We are being called to expand along with it. So ascending our frequency is more about an expansion. Think about your emotional body. When you are in a state of fear, when you are in a state of shame, we feel constricted. And a lot of us may be feeling that compression, that constriction right now. And what is available on the other side of constriction? What comes after? Expansion. And so this universe is constantly expanding. That's what life is about. Expansion, growth and expansion. And so we are being called to do that on a higher order right now, if that makes sense. So just like sound frequencies, if you've ever gone to a sound healing or you've listened to soothing music, it puts us into a state of relaxation. Just like sound frequencies can impact us on a cellular level, light frequencies do this, and it's beyond the visible spectrum. So we don't see what's going on, but our cells feel it at a cellular level. It is triggering the release of toxins, of density, of old energies that are not assisting us. And it's asking our DNA to upgrade as well. So anything that's been binding our DNA that isn't serving us either, that's being triggered and activated as well. So there is so much going on a cellular level, on a DNA level. It's a lot, and that's why we're feeling a lot. And it doesn't feel good. It gets worse before it gets better. In any kind of detox situation, if you've ever detoxed, if you've ever cleansed, You probably know that. And that's actually what the process of illness is too. It's our body healing itself, but it feels worse in the moment until we get better. The body's natural immune response, it triggers the inflammation, it triggers all of the, imagine a wound healing as well. It gets the pus on it, it looks kind of gross, and then magically it disappears. Magic. So, we have all these systems within our body system that just perform magic for us on the daily, and we don't even think about it. So when you think about it from that kind of perspective, this maybe isn't as much of a leap as a lot of people might think at first. It's not quite as woo-woo when you start to look at the energetics and the frequencies and looking at what's happening on a cellular level. It becomes quite grounded in our tangible 3D reality. So these powerful light frequencies are triggering the necessary shifts, releases, and upgrades to our body and the nervous system itself, because it's being, recalibrated and upgraded. A lot of us might be feeling anxiety, nausea, headaches, discomfort in our bodies. There's so many different ascension symptoms. I can link a little description down below, but it is those symptoms are vast. So if you're feeling kind of dizzy or off someday, fatigue is my number one, honestly. It's just a feeling of like, whoa, why am I so tired? Sleeplessness can happen. There's a lot of signs. So don't fall into fear if you're feeling some of these things. Just say, hey, wait a second, maybe this is actually my body being upgraded right now. So again, we're being called to do the shadow work, to really tune in and figure out what's not aligned for us. What isn't working on a physical level, mental level, emotional, energetic? Are we aligned with our soul calling, our purpose, our passion? Maybe we don't know what that is, and that's okay. This is a time for us to really tune in and say, what do I want? What do I enjoy? What brings me joy? Tune into your inner child and say, what lights me up? And go in the direction of pursuing that. Maybe take a little step and take an art class, start journaling, do something that brings you a sense of peace, a sense of joy, a sense of flow. It's anything that brings you into a state of flow is honestly what is probably most aligned for us in some capacity, on some level. So consider for yourself in your life what brings you into that state and step into doing that more. I'm not saying you have to go quit your job today or anything like that. But things are shifting on a mass scale. So a lot of us will find that we are stepping into a next version of our career self, our lives on probably a lot of levels. So a lot is falling away so that we can become this more expanded, more brilliant, more beautiful version of ourselves. So it's quite exciting, ultimately, as difficult as it may be in some moments. So again, this is also, I mentioned in the last video, it's a heart opening, it's a heart chakra upgrade, because we are moving out of this paradigm of, head over all else. We're coming out of the head into the heart. So we're being asked to open up. And that means is releasing a lot of the blocks, the emotional blocks, a lot of us hold trauma in our body, and just by dint of being human, we have trauma. So I actually did receive a message last week, which I will share. I will share in a separate video because this one's already getting a little longer than I anticipated, naturally. So I'll share that quick message in a shorter video. But yeah, we all hold trauma on some level because the human experience itself is quite traumatic. So really tune in. And again, that gentleness and compassion is so key. Get the support you need and really just tune in and allow yourself to go through all of these layers that want to be looked at. Honestly, they want to be held and integrated, and they want to be healed. They really do. So we are fragmented on a lot of levels, and what our soul wants, what our souls are calling us to do, is reintegrate all of these pieces of ourselves, these wounded, traumatized, hurt pieces of ourselves. So again, hold so much compassion for yourself in these times. It's not easy. And just remember, you're not alone. You're not alone. We're all going through this together, and we're all being guided so beautifully. And, maybe you haven't really tuned in. Just stay open. Stay open to signs. Stay open to guidance that might come in your external reality in the form of, let's say, aligned numbers or feathers. I've been finding feathers the last couple years. I'm like, thanks for that, little one, So it can look like anything, honestly. You can ask for a specific sign. Like, am I meant to do this? Show me this. You can be really specific about it too. So call on them for support if you need to. And again, purification of our body is really, really helpful and really important in these times. So drinking clean, filtered, purified water, eating clean, high vibrational, natural, organic foods. I don't ascribe to any particular diet. I try to avoid labels. I go with what my body needs in any moment. Sometimes it needs more grounding. Sometimes I want to eat really light. And when we're in the process of purging and detoxing, often it is the lighter foods. I always start my day with lemon water, warm lemon water, half a lemon with cold room temperature water, and then hot water on top. It's very specific, but I really love it. And I feel it if I don't have that. I hydrate a lot. I try to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, the nutrients, and I have supplements, phycocyanin, algae, spirulina. These are all really, really potent and powerful to help our bodies upgrade and integrate. So anything that will bring your body back into stability and harmony, breath work, sound healing, listening to frequencies, moving your body in ways that feels good, not from a sense of overexertion and pushing. I'm all about feeling strong in your body, but also it has to feel good. So if you're forcing yourself to run 5 miles a day, maybe your body doesn't actually want that. Like, tune in. Is that actually feeling good for you, or are you feeling like you need to do it? Are you doing it because you feel like if you don't, whatever the pressure is, try to release these needs and shoulds and tune in with what feels good. Like, I prefer dancing and yoga and stuff like that, And beyond that, you can find these frequencies on YouTube, as I said in the other video as well. Solfeggio, healing frequencies, whatever you feel aligned with. And I have my energy cleanse meditation, which I'll link below, my 8 golden keys to abundance, which again is basically a full body frequency upgrade that helps us release and upgrade our energy centers within the body. And I have my upcoming larger container, which really will hold everyone. It will hold you as you go through this whole journey of really tuning in, going within, and then coming back out more grounded, feeling more whole. That is the process of integration and alchemy. It's bringing us into this state of wholeness, which is a very high vibrational state to hold as well. And I will also be holding an Activate Your Intuition Superpower Masterclass the end of the month, September 27th. So that's a sliding scale, pay what you can. And so we'll dive really deep into your intuition, how to activate it, hone it, and really heighten it, because I always say that my intuition is my superpower and my intuition is what saved my life. So I believe that all of us have this capacity to amplify our intuitive powers and to really step into this aligned version of ourselves using our intuition to guide us. So I'm sending you so much light and love, onward and upward, and I will see you soon.